Yeah. So, Prairie. Tell me, what's Prairie for a map?
In Prairie, you start with 2 scouts instead of normal 1 scout, and it's like Green Arabia, but with no hills, and with 2 scouts, and less wood, I think.
Yeah, that's true. So, how will that affect strategies when you think about a Goth War?
Yeah, the start can be really aggressive, because if you kill somebody just from the enemy, you usually want to try to finish him early. So we will possibly see a lot of barracks and big rush. But it depends, of course. If the distance is super far, most likely players will just take better positions, all the golds, and like stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm pretty excited to see that. We jump
And it's
into
another map where we will possibly see a restart, because it can go really badly at the start against 2 scouts.
Welcome to game number 6 with me, as you heard, the Ruben stock. This goes 4-1 in favor of TheCode, who just picked Goth on Prairie as his civ, and we can see how they're trying to start. It looks like 1 Halberdier and the rest Huskarls for TheCode, and 2 Halberdiers and the rest Huskarls for Jidba. Oh, nice move there! Out microing the Halberdiers there. Secure the builder. Getting killed, the 1 villager there. So it's 5 against 4 villagers there.
Oh!
And returning the
And already
favor.
losing his villages under his TC because he didn't garrison it. Oh, that hurts him.
Into Dimension again, a bit faster when it comes to standing his Huskar, as you can see already close to Jidba, but Jidba only now sending in already champions.
And Jidba decides to go for more Huskars in this game, which is interesting, since you would think that in God Rush you'd like to rush really badly also.
So a lot of villagers in the back going down. It's 5 against 6 villagers in favor of Interdimension. Most of his villagers now working here in the back. More Huskars coming in, sniping 1 more villager. Let's take a look. This guy has another mission. 1 more hit needed, and getting shut down. Those Huskars waiting for some more kills, but a lot of army waiting for them. Pop 92 against Pop 88. Small advantage there for Jidba, who, starting a bit better now, is getting his first eco TCs up, is having a lot of army, and taking the fight to TheCode, as I mentioned here.
Jidba lacking the siege a bit, just finishing his 3rd siege workshop now, but it will be fine.
Interesting, you can see Jidba standing around some Huskars at the flank, knowing that Interdimension likes to have those flank racks. But only intercepted none of them, because this villager got through and the other one was getting shut down over here in the middle. Now both players have
a bit of wasting from Jidba in the middle.
Well, it's mainly to keep the control at the side of our player, and the blue trunks here into Dimension from Turkey. But yeah, it felt a bit like wasting. At least this wave feels like wasting.
Yeah, but gems are surprisingly cheap units, so maybe he can afford it. But he has to be careful, not losing too much army.
The side attack coming in from Interdimension. Sending more and more to the side now. Still not getting those racks up. And it looks like the food eco is being set up a bit better by Jidba. Already has 3 TCs with some farms around, and all could not even produce anything of harvest.
Only 2 TCs from Oregon.
he's a bit behind in that regard, 12 against 19 villagers, but ahead by 50 military. Jidba up to again. He's 108 out of 100, out of 210, not producing a single unit except stuff.
Seems like Orgus is getting control of the map. Jidba's just sitting at his base with all his army, wondering what he's waiting for.
He's not really producing any army, to be honest. Just defending and hoping for Interdimension to waste.
Wish to see him moving those corpses, for example, the right side, keeping that castle alive there.
Sending them to the left-hand side. Sees actually all of the attack here. That will keep his Fudico idle for quite some time. Another attack from the right-hand side. So yeah, awkward.
Interesting raiding with Scorpions, not the most common raiding unit.
They're not that easily to be shut down by own champions.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and now the Scorpions are super clumped up for Jidba here. Orchid could actually take this fight. Oh, especially it was now Huskers coming from the side.
Oh, nice! But only sending one by one, so gonna get killed. Or is it? Yeah.
Even before coming in there. And all the champions going down at the same time, so that production wasn't great. And we have more and more attacks in the south. And ratings, and I really fear for Orcus Fudico.
I'm a bit worried about Jidba's map control right now. He's going to be squeezed in that corner soon, if he doesn't pay attention to the right side.
Oh, and those Scorpions super clumped up, that's something you don't want to have against splash damage.
And leaving them alone without any meat shield there.
Jidba now popped 210 against 145 of the dimensions, so he's struggling a bit, having a lot of idle villagers. Not the greatest farm eco either. Let's see, this relic should be denied indeed. Now let's take a look at relic count. It's 2 for Interdimension for now. This one is getting snagged by... Is it? Oh, 2 actually here in the south and 1 for Jidba. So still 2 relics up for grabs. Fudico coming up. I think Jidba, although he has very little map control, just his ego and his military count at the moment is giving him a good favor, but that's something we said in the game before, and he couldn't make it enough out of it. Let's see, another rating coming in against the gold spots here. All the villagers have to go into the TC, and as we can see now, 95 villagers, 32 in TCs all being idle. More and more getting shut down. And the attack is getting big in the middle here. And if this castle falls, yeah, it's just so easy for Jidba to continue raiding on the side here. More and more Huskers coming in, as you can see. So I think this might be another point for Jidba.
Yeah, possibly. Somewhat, for some reason, Interdimension didn't make enough farms.
For some reason, it might be the speed.
Was it? And now losing all his main gold area, which is going to hurt, and Jidba just has to make a few castles there and going to be super bad for Interdimension.
seems that's exactly what he's aiming for.
Although he's losing all his infantry there, but Scorpion should do the work anyways.
Now Onager switch from Interdimension because he sees he's only playing against Scorpions here on this side. But now a lot of Huskers coming in. Still pop 210 against 150. And the push is real. Being Knight from 3 out of the gold spots. Not the greatest food equal. Pop 80 against 115. This isn't the greatest fight either. All the champions clumped up here. So many Scorpions easily killing all the clumped up champions. Such a great cost efficiency. Another caster coming in. Jidba is going for the kill. He does not want to go down. He still wants to keep his chances in this series.
And Orbit even dropping below 100 population. Looking really good for Jidba now.
GG, pretty close. Now Jidba taking the gold throw and in GG. Not ending very climactic, was a big fight, but was a big push indeed for Jidba. Again, cost efficient defending, getting up his food eco, defending with champions, and then going for one big push with the army that the dimension wasn't really able to produce anymore, and securing the win for himself.
The dimension had its chance if he just secured the map with castles and made eco at the same time, but it's hard to do both things good at the same time. Especially as gods, when you just have to spam units all the time.
Well, we'll be updated. It is 224. Next settings are, drumroll, Double Arabia, and the loser picks a Civ, but not Celts. So what do you think Orchid might be going for here? Oh no, it's not Orchid, it's obviously Jidba's Civ now.
Oh yeah, Double Arabia, not Celts. Probably something Paladin related once again. Maybe Hans?
Hans is definitely an option. I think it was... Oh no, I think it was a standard for the group stage, right? In Deathmatch World Cup? Double Arabia Hans? I think so, yeah. So he didn't play that.
I think it was Double Arabia Spanish War.
No.
Jidba doesn't want to reveal his secrets.
Yeah, but Interdimension was the one house. What we're playing. Oh, Jidba doesn't even know what they're playing. Yeah. Oh, I think that could take that off.
No.
A lot of Turkish fans there from Market trying to support him. Who I believe is now studying in Belgium. I think so, yeah.
Orchid?
Yeah.
Alright.
He did start to play a lot of random map team games as well. 1716 as his AKA rating. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, yes. Maybe it's on the Interdimension account. But he doesn't play with it anymore. He's using TheCode nowadays only.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually only wanted to be named TheCode, but oh, that's always a problem when players are switching their names. I really don't get it. Like VNS Yellow, we have so much struggle to call him in every game, and now players switching their names. And just when TyRanT played and Viper was switching to Pogba. Like, I read on the chat like at least 30 times who's Pogba. Maybe 10 of them might be trolls, but so many people were confused, and that's just so unnecessary. Like, what are you gaining from changing your name? But okay, I shouldn't hate too much. So, Double Arabia, Jidba Civ, we expect something with a lot of forces like Franks or Huns or whatever we see now. Game number 7 coming up, and it indeed is Franks on Double Arabia, the home civ of Jidba coming up with Miri's room stocks. Franks kind of expected. What will we see in this match?
A lot of paladins, obviously, but
Oh,
it's going to be a bit different.
okay, and what kind will it be different?
Yeah, he's doing nice job not making, because you can just run out of resources if you make like standard build-ups with both TCs. So I'm curious to see which buildings he decides to go.
Yeah, especially
Both
if he
players.
would go for 8 stable 5 Rex again, then he would be out of resources at minute 6
Yeah.
and not a single food left to build even villages. Now building more castles, building a market again. But Frank's not having goods, not the biggest advantage, but you don't need wood too much, so you can sell a little bit.
I like Jidba that he's making the castle really early on his right TC, because it gives you more micro time to the other TC, because you can just rally point your villagers to the castle and it will take some time. I really like that move.
Build up on the left, see it is a bit more open, a bit more coordinated, but Orchid's build up on the left hand side and on the right hand side looks pretty solid, I have to say, when it comes to positioning of
He's already pulling a huge military lead. Well, not huge, but 20. It's quite a lot at this point of the game. Well, that's obviously because Jidba decided to go for more castle base start, although Interdimension has 2 castles himself already. So better start for Orchid, I would say.
And now it's 130 against 80 pot. Again, Interdimension going for a very strong start. Sending in traps already. Right hand side doesn't really look like Jidba has so much unit.
Yeah.
Left hand side
It's just
a bit more.
Yeah, seems like the castle start wasn't that good after all. Maybe needed some more stables or something, but he's doing really nice damage at left side also.
And castle start obviously is good if the enemy is overcommitting with weak units to raid like camels, but Frank Paladins with plus 4 defense and more than 92 HP, they can take some castle fire, and Orko didn't overcommit in the first place, so that wasn't really the problem. But really needs to get up this castle on the left hand side. Now Jidba is closing the gap, only 10 pop difference now.
It starts to look like it's a base trade between 2 bases, which is kind of funny.
The main gold spots now a bit earlier being claimed. Resources pretty low from Orchid. Let's take a look how many units here has queued. Some reasonable amount. Let's go to Jidba. He still has a lot queued up as well, but a bit better spread out and a lot of villagers queued as well. Left hand side is looking very good for Jidba now. The dimension not getting up this counter really hurts him. On the right hand side, as you said, base trade scenario, kind of both players killing one TC of his enemy, and Jidba really needs to get most of his gold from this spot, because most likely the dimension will be trying to get this on the left hand side. Now something you rarely see, paladins from one TC running to the other TC to just help out reinforcing, and that's a super funny scenario. Such a nice army, the X-Men and traps on the right hand side. So tough to kill if you don't have a huge army on your own or well controlled siege. So who has the advantage here?
Jidba.
Why?
Look at his eco. It's really amazing for me how he's been able to make so many villagers already after like pushing so hard. And look at all the farms. It requires a lot of micro time to make all those tight farms there.
He is behind 10 villagers. And ahead 10 military, but will lose some of his paladins now for sure. That's castle and X-Men coming back.
10 villagers? I see 40.
Okay, Jidba's ahead by 40 villagers, exactly. Did look at the wrong spot there. So yeah, it makes a bit more sense from the looks as well. And more traps coming in, another defensive castle.
Yeah, Jidba trying to save his right base by sending some units from other side.
If he only kills a trap, he's buying himself so much more time. So just focusing 2-3 paladins could have done the job, but now enough paladins coming up, and yeah, his eco is just giving him the options to go for paladins to defend.
Yeah, exactly. And paladins is the unit choice at this point of the game. The best unit choice.
Also 40 builds ahead, 20 pop behind in military, but mainly paladins, which is on this map obviously a sick unit to have because they are so mobile. And yeah, X-Men and Halberdiers are just units which always run behind the paladins and trying to chase them. But paladins can decide where to attack. The game's slowing down a bit. Now into Dimension reclaiming his main gold spot, losing a bit of ground on the right hand side, lost a lot of precious castles there. More relics coming up for Jidba, should have 3 pretty soon to have 4, and on the left hand side we're trying to control this area, but somehow it is already...
Oh, and the right hand side, Orchid is going to lose everything, pretty much.
Yeah, so true, maybe he can get out with something alive if he falls back far enough, but the straps will die, sending him some paladins to sacrifice and get some X-Men. Safe home, and yeah, I think
kind
that was a very
wrong unit choice from Orchid going halves and throwing X-Men. You really need some paladins.
A bit surprised by that as well. He was late on his main gold spot on the right hand side and his left gold
but
side.
It shouldn't be the gold issue. He's on 3k at the bank right now.
Yeah, I think most of the time Frank's is the food eater indeed. Especially on Double Arabia, where it's so easy to spend a lot of resources and so tough to really get your eco. And now the pop is just so brutal. Jidba looking strong. Pop 180 against 80 pop only of Interdimension here, who doesn't really know what's coming for him. Let's go into his point of view. He sees, okay, this guy has some paladins, but he doesn't really have the traps to kill me. He's sending one by one, so I still think I have some chances, but in reality he does not.
Yeah, really low chances with that population and GG call.
GG call.
Really
indeed.
pretty convincing playing by Jidba.
Yeah, going for the better unit composition, a bit better rate, took nice fight, just bought so much time on the right hand side and did push beautifully on the left hand side, and then after his eco kicked in, this beautiful full eco here in the north, then he could kill those traps and stop the push. And what a great job. His
And
Jidba
so making it 3-4.
Closing the gap after being down 4-1. Now we're guaranteed to see at least 9 out of the 11 maps. Already having the relics as well. And it's a good job. This score. It is 3-4. Comeback possible indeed. The next settings, as you can see, are now Frank War on GA. So that's the settings where we give the advantage to Jidba, I assume?
Yeah. Although Orchid might have some nice strategy, we could possibly see same kind of strategy as we saw in Gold Rush, using a lot of market at the start and making a lot of stables and pushing really aggressively at the start. Possibly.
So, for the guys who just tuned in and want to know the format, it is a best of 11 show match between probably the number 2 and the number 3 in the world, maybe number 1 and number 3 in the world. So to say, let's say just 2 players, both being top 3 in the world. And deathmatch are the settings. So we always start in Imperial Age with a very high amount of resources: 20k food, 20k wood, 10k gold, 5k stone, and every tech already researched. So you can instantly produce huge amounts of units. The games are super aggressive, and you start to fight for resources, for map control, and against huge armies from basically second one. The next settings we will see will be Green Arabia with Franks. So again, we will see a lot of paladins. Most players will go for, as we said, a lot of paladins, then go for some halberdiers and axemen. Later on we might see some siege. And now Green Arabia. I have seen some long games on Green Arabia being played by Jidba, and he's just a guy who can perform the brutalest slow death animations there with 2 traps and 50 axemen, and you just can't really take a good fight against him. So we might be in for a long game in this one, but obviously a lot of paladins can do a lot of damage, so we might see a quick game as well. I thought Jidba had been the undisputed number 1 for a long time. He had been, but we just had the big Deathmatch World Cup and he did not win. Let's see how he will perform in the next tournaments, but let's jump into game number 8 first. The score is 4-3 in favor of our player in the blue trunks. It is formerly known as Interdimension, TheCode, Mr. Orchid, playing from Turkey against the Greece guy. Jidba, arguably the #1 in the world, indeed, and no stable, no market start this time for Interdimension.
Yeah.
Go down.
But there's always
Two
possibility that he can
worlds,
take it later. Did he lose 2 villages?
No, he had 10
Almost. Oh yeah. But as we can see, we have a close map once again, so aggressive starts will be seen.
Okay, let's see. More paladins coming
Oh,
in.
and Orchid leaving 1 villager trap in front and losing it to Paladin for free.
Villager comes now.
Both players so low.
5 against 5. More villagers might be going down here. Let's see. Great micro there and awareness. Obviously, Paladin only 3 hits against the villager, so that's a lot of damage guaranteed.
Yeah, and even you cannot really protect your villagers well because Frank's Paladins especially take a lot of time to get killed.
2 more villagers in the top going down. Now 4 villagers, 4 Interdimension, 2 only for Jidba, so it will be a lot of production and people can't really expand here properly because just having so few villagers at the start. Let's compare the
And
starts.
Jidba down to 2, now 3, but wow.
Maybe you should catch up a bit.
And now first fight, real fighting, looking good for Orchid. Having the hill there.
But he was climbed up a bit. I think it's a bit better fight for Jidba now. But it is tough. Both players should be sending in more and more. I think now that Interdimension is sending in more and is running around with some paladins. Oh, and sniping more villagers for himself. What a great move. And now it's 4 against 9. That's a pretty solid advantage. Now getting the late market. Let's see how much he's using it.
Probably selling all the wood, most likely.
Was it 49? Okay, then I just tuned in a bit late. It seems, but only now getting up TCs, not a single TC being built before. So Eco will be very late. We are the only players at top 50 at the 7-minute mark. Normally you can see players being there at top 150, but it was very intense fighting in the middle and a lot of villagers going down. It's still 12-6. Whoa,
even
what's going on here?
Even though the last game was double Arabia, but Jidba had 80 villagers at 8-minute mark, which is pretty impressive. But obviously you cannot compare double Arabia and normal GA.
So he tried to wall his villager there, but unsuccessful. Trying to raid some at the left hand side. Jidba was the left hand side. He is super unprotected. So ratings could have been affected. Now trying to expand more to the right hand side, and there are hills, there are gold spots, there are relics. So that's a nice area to secure for sure. And not a single farm being built just yet by our player in blue here.
I like in the dimensions middle position much more. He can harass the main gold of Jidba there, and he has the hill also under his control.
Yeah, I can totally see where you're going with that. Having some traps here, you could easily snipe down those castles, control this gold spot, and controlling your main gold spot, and maybe could even raid the left hand side. Would give you a nice advantage indeed, but for the moment he's trying to take most map control. The problem is Jidba most of the time has to have army in the center to prevent exactly those attacks. Now some good farming going on. Monks might even go down to this raiding. And yeah, Orchid is in a pretty good position here. Pop 150 against Pop 110. Looking pretty darn good for him. Raiding's coming in now from Jidba, but more paladins coming up to clear that up. No Ruby. How good is it looking for Interdimension?
It's looking really good after that one fight, because he's now securing the right side of the map, where it's two goals. One of them is it Jidba's
Yeah, it has
third
legit
gold, or
yeah. He doesn't have any in the back. That's his
it's really
second
far
one.
from him.
That's very far for sure.
Bit unfortunate for him having, but he's able to take the goal in the left side pretty safely, it seems.
Yeah, the wood gold composition there, or how the map is just shaped, helps him out a bit. Would even love to see some stone walls between the two forests here, but unlikely to see that from Jidba here. Imagine now pop 165 to pop 102. We have a longer pause here, waiting for the players to continue. Population 77 to 49 when it comes to villages, 9 to 53 in military, both in favor of our Turkish player here in blue. Plan lasts as long as I know him, I believe. Did you mention? Oh, he was legend, right? Turkish Dragon's Crown or something?
What?
Did Enter Dimension was he ever a part of a team? Like in a real
I think he played with account called Legend Rocks.
Yeah.
When he came back.
Let's see, maybe some X-Men snuck there against the trap. Did unprotected there, Jidba is now patrolling in. The X-Men should go back, the regroup wasn't great, but still okay. Sorry, my internet.
Oh, a nice paladins from Jidba coming to kill all those traps there.
And they should kill all the traps, maybe even all 4 of them. It looks a bit like it. And some X-Men and some more ratings. The military count is just pretty reasonable for Jidba there, although he is behind in overall pop, but it seems like some units are spread out. Yeah, exactly, and Harvard is only now coming in, but a bit late to the party.
Org is kind of missing Trojan Aximum mass. And that's the difference that can make, it's a big difference at this point.
The X-Men army is so much stronger than Harvardier army, obviously. Very effective against Harvardiers, and Clumps can take good fights against massive amount of paladins as well. Jidba now the one who's actually taking the offensive there, building a offensive castle, taking kind of the hill there. Let's see if how he's regrouping. Paladin still okay position, and Harvard is fighting against the Paladin.
I think good fight for Jidba.
I think it's a good fight for Jidba, but could have been worse for Interdimension, I believe. Now this is an interesting castle there from Interdimension. I think it's more of the...
More of a Titanic castle.
Yeah, optimistic kind of castles. Yeah, those villagers will not finish that castle for sure. All losing their lives. And suddenly Jidba is the one with the greater start, or with the greater position.
Yeah, I think it's all about the Trojan Axim mass that he has. It makes so big difference in the fights. It's like CA in Hans War.
Okay, it actually has 5 castles, so he could produce more and more. Let's see, only producing out of 1, and there he's queuing 6 and queuing a trap behind instead of using all of his castles. Let's see now, 4 traps already for Jidba. That's a real threat to this castle. And yeah, now Interdimension is
kind of wasting few castles there for nothing.
Let's see, all the paladins coming in now. How well is the fight for Jidba? The X-Men of Awkward a bit late to the party. The traps going down, the castle might survive with the traps. Let's see, one more trap shot. If he focuses on the trap, he might save it. Or if he repairs, no, he could not. So the castle is going down. The fight went reasonable for Jidba. Nice positioning there of this X-Men, and now falling back as all his paladins is TheCode. And yeah, just the X-Men, like we pointed out several times now, really making the difference for Jidba here.
Jidba has to be fast pushing because he's running out of gold and Orchid is having 4 relics. So if Orchid can just hold a bit, he will be fine.
Hold a bit is easier said than done. Now being heavily attacked into his main goal spot. Struggling at his production even, only holding on with some. And he has control of all the gold spots. So yeah, let's take a look at how much resources Jidba actually has and how much gold income. That's one spot. He has 0 relics so far, should build a monk any second. And then he is down to, let's take a look, only close to 2k gold more to mine there. So yeah, time is absolutely ticking for Interdimension, but no, that's a ballsy move we want to see. Jidba trying to take the main gold of Interdimension here. What a move. And raiding the other spots as well. Oh god, Jidba's playing like a madman. I felt like he was struggling the first 2-3 games, but now he's absolutely on point, getting up his eco fast, doing the right moves, and his multitasking looks just so on point, like what I want to see from him, not what he did show us at the start. Those paladins will get this trap, maybe this trap as well. But yeah, that's was sweet that he got the trap, but all his paladins going down there. I have to raise a question, was it really worth it? I'm not sure. The paladins rating will be shut down. Points are pushed super even. And yeah, just the continuing path of push on all the side of Jidba here. Interesting moves. Oh, that's an unfortunate gold camp. Should have been one tile closer. Ah, god.
At where?
On the left hand side. Look how the villagers are blocking.
Oh yeah,
and they're running around all the way. Jeez. Now the big fight in the middle. No paladins left for Jidba. All getting sniped down before. 4 traps coming in as well. So many axemen, and this might be the killing blow of Jidba. Is losing everything and cannot replenish it because he does not have enough gold. That could be it. But he's still taking a good fight with all his axemen, and I think he is staying strong there. I believe so.
Oh, even bringing even more paladins to the fight.
How is that even possible? We did count out that he got any gold left anymore, and suddenly he's the guy pushing back, and now we have to do the hype in the same direction, or in the other direction now, because if Interdimension is losing all his gold units, his eco isn't as great as well, losing some in the bag, only 90 villagers. The food eco looks pretty scrappy, especially for him. And yeah, this is still the game to take from both players. Jidba is pushing more and more, and Interdimension holding on, but not really sure if he's holding on well enough.
Yeah, this has been a great game so far. Seeing one player fighting for his life and trying to...
And the other player knows it.
Yeah.
Needs to push more, Interdimension needs to hold even better. Let's see now, another ballsy move there. Getting the stone of Interdimension. Now the push against the trap. No chance of Orchid defending that. Oh, and I think adding some paladins now isn't really an option. I think Orchid needs to go for maybe some...
Yeah, paladins is going to be bad, I think. But he has 4 relics, so he can afford it. Let's say that.
So it's not...
I would like to see
a castle.
relics. Yeah. I would like to see Castle from Oregon next to his TC near his main goal.
I hit him more to the right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you want to do that, just to secure all this area. And let's see, Paladins.
And I think it's enough far from Jidba's traps. Well, maybe not.
Well, those 4 Paladins will snack themselves the 2 traps there, I believe. Or he's splitting them. Let's see if the second trap is going down as well. Yeah, it is. So that's
Oh yeah, I think fight over the top gold is much important now, because look at the gold summons. It's much more than in
1.8k, another attack, X-Men against X-Men fight here in the middle. A lot of Halberdiers in there as well. Now the Paladin standing to the front against the Halberdiers. Very poor management there by Interdimension. Now trying to patrol in, but did forget to patrol. Or it was not taken. And it's a tough game, and Jidba's just playing his heart out, knowing that he really needs to push, and he needs to push now. And Bob 130 against Bob 150, and the Dimension needs to buy time. This is the last push of Jidba. He has a reasonable eco, so
Jidba has to be careful not going too deep with those throwing axes, and he's wasting a bit of them.
2 or 3 against the castle, so it is reasonable. When did he even out micro the castle shot there? That would have been so sick.
Possibly.
Let's see, Pop 150 against Pop 160. So Fudikos look reasonable, not the best ones. I did manage that before. Interdimension needs to buy time. Jidba needs to push. This gold is still not really claimed.
Jidba is gaining more chances, more he pushes, especially because of those golds.
Let's take a look.
But
wood is not important just yet. This castle will go down for very sure. I don't see that one trap can take this out. Let's see, raiding coming in from Jidba. Instant denial by Interdimension. Good job there. Now he's trying to snipe against the traps. Having one going back.
Only one. Maybe it could have been worth to go for the second. Don't know.
I think he would have lost at least 10 X-Men there.
Yeah, but here has to keep that castle alive. He has no stone left anymore, and that area is totally exposed. Oh, and
Jidba did push at the left hand side at the same time, now getting this goal, and this might be Jidba's game. It's still only 20 pop ahead, and
even taking the gold at the top. No.
Yeah, that's so good. Now rerouting his traps, he's pushing more in the middle. Now some light calf coming in.
Maybe should back up with his throwing X-Man there. Fighting under hill is, I mean, no, not hill, but castle is not too good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Pop 150 against Pop 123. Most players absolutely at their limit. Jidba resources only food, the rest is basically down. Jidba has 12k wood, the rest pretty much at the limit as well. Now building some life cap more and more, but just producing into mass of halberdiers, that's not really what you're looking for. And now Jidba is getting those gold spots, and there's just so much gold. 1800 gold, I think that's like 75 X-Men, and 75 X-Men is just an army that cannot be stopped by Interdimension in this game.
Yeah, especially in Franks for you really need the gold. There's the trash units for Franks are bad, I will say.
Yeah, bad is pretty nicely said indeed. The worst. Only light calf, no
bracer,
no bracers. Only the halberdiers are fully attacked, but halberdiers are so bad against X in the first place. So now maxed out Jidba 170 Interdimension. He is still holding on. He is getting back to his main gold spot, but there's only 150 more gold to claim. Still producing like a madman. 175 against 160. More attacks from Jidba in the top, more attacks from Jidba in the south, more attacks from Jidba in the middle. He is attacking everywhere, and Interdimension doesn't know how to split his unit. At the moment he doesn't even have pop for pop 200. Now it's putting one trap too close to the front, and that's 200 wood and 200 gold. He cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, this is where Jidba is really good at. He knows exactly where to push and when and right amounts.
And that's kind of what I wanted to predict before the game. The 2-trap 20 X-Men troops and just sniping a building down, and you now the demoralization killing you're starting to see, and that's a GG! The moral.
Wow. Really well played from Jidba, knowing that he's behind the relics and forcing himself to push.
Oh damn. And the sad thing is, we wanted to see a best of 11, but it's not a best of 11. It's now a best of 3 with 8 warm-up games.
Look at the goal difference.
I will look at the goal difference. 7k.
It's amazing how Jidba could push with that goal difference.
Yeah, a lot of castles obviously helped out. He did snipe so many traps of Interdimension. Interdimension lost so many paladins all over the place. So really great play by Jidba there, and yeah, rightfully picking his home map. Or a home civ. So let's take a look at what will be next through the next 3 settings. We will have only set civs, set maps now. It will be Saracens on graveyards, Persians on prairie, and at the end we have the settings of all settings, Huns on GA. Looking at how the players played before and how you thought they played, who do you think has the advantage in the last 3 games?
I think it's pretty even. Both have their chances. I think in Saracen War graveyards we will probably see
yes.
kind of same strategy as Orkut had in Turks War graveyards, using the market ult at the start and trying to push really hard. And on Persians or Buri, I think Jidba has better chances on that one. We saw some really crazy games in Deathmatch World Cup. Kellan drew against Jidba Persian War, and Jidba made a really nice, well, I would say a comeback maybe, but he played really well at the late game with Persians.
He is super good in the late game. There was a lot of trash units indeed. Maybe I have to give
him... Do you remember that game?
I only watched it, I couldn't watch it live, and I think it was dropping, and I only watched it from like 2 hours 15 to 2 hours 45 after the drop.
Alright. Yeah.
But that was enough for me, yeah. Oh, what a great series, and yeah, Deathmatch fans really got their treat today for sure. Best of 11, and we're going to at least 10 of those games, and both players really getting at each other. The question now is, we know that Interdimension is having problems with his nerfs. He went up 4-1 and now is getting shut down to 4-4. How do you think he is feeling?
Well, knowing that Interdimension likes to market a lot, I think the first 3 games were pretty, well, I wouldn't say expected, but kind of, those were like easier wins for him. And now it's 4-4. I don't know if he feels like he has wasted his chances. Don't know.
Oops.